It was a really good time. Like, I've known Mike through stand-up comedy for many years now, and it makes sense to me that Mike transitions into being a director because he's, like, I think one of the more thoughtful stand-ups out there. He's not so much of like a set-up punchline guy. He's like thoughtful. He tells stories. He's very honest, emotional, vulnerable in his work. So it made a lot of sense to me, and he actually really like mentored me for about a year or two before this film was shooting in the stand-up world. I've been doing improv for 16 years now. Stand-up, I'm relatively newer, and he was taking me out on the road and felt totally safe in his hands because we're friends, and I also had like such a good look at how his brain works comedically that I had an immense amount of trust in him. It makes a lot of sense to me that Mike is a good director. Nobody else does stuff as like raw or vulnerable as Mike. It was really cool because he actually invited me to there were a lot of readings of the script along the way, probably about something like 10 readings in the year before the film that I attended, before I was even cast, where he was just kind of feeling out what it was like, how the jokes were working. So I was kind of in on the ground floor of seeing these characters develop, and that helps a lot because I could kind of see what he was inching them towards the whole way. And then really, as far as on the set, I just had this trust in Mike, and it was really kind of a huge challenge for me because this is not just, I'm usually used to being like a weird nerd who comes in and has like a one-day part on a sitcom, like does 1 or 2 episodes and then goes away. And this was like, it had a lot of meat on its bones emotionally. It was like my character's father gets in an accident, and there's a scene where I cry, and this is all stuff that's new to me. So Mike really, I think, did a very good job of making that feel like I was in safe hands and that I could go to all those places and trust him to get me there, and I just hope I made him proud. There were definitely some readings where he was like, if anybody has ideas or joke pitches or things, I'm open to it, and there were others that it was clearly not for that, so you kind of had to switch which part of your brain was turning on and off depending on what the goals for that particular reading were. But he really did. He just like chipped away at it over a couple of years to try to get this script where it needed to be, and I think he did a great job.